Wherever you're joining us around the world, let's celebrate a little bit of South Florida this afternoon. Welcome along to Miami, everybody. It's the 77th venue to hold a World Championship Formula One Grand Prix, and it is the first World Championship Miami Grand Prix. Round 5 of the Formula One season in 2022. We are here in South Florida for 57 laps of racing. The celebrities have come to celebrate. Let's hope we put on a show that's fit to remember. This track, 3.36 miles around the Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins. It was a car park. It's now a brilliant racetrack, and we'll see what our drivers do, coping with the 19 corners, 12 to the left and 9 to the right. 3 DRS zones, as you can see, too, and a lap distance at full throttle for 72% of those 3.36 miles. 57 laps to come, maximum speeds round about 200 miles an hour. And how will the tyres cope with the track temperatures in the very hot conditions we've had throughout the weekend? Soft as the C4, medium as the C3, hard as the C2. The hard tyre could be a favoured race tyre if it's a one-stop race, but some of the teams thinking that it might be pushed more to a two-stop race if the track temperature remains around 50 degrees. We've had a bit of rain this afternoon. That's cooled things down, but it won't last for long. Here's the starting grid then for the first ever Miami Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon couldn't take part in qualifying. He had a damaged chassis. He lines up at the back with Nicholas Latifi for Williams, whose teammate Alex Albon a place ahead alongside Guan Yu Zhou for Alfa Romeo. Next comes the two Haas drivers. Mick Schumacher out qualifying Kevin Magnussen, the 15th and 16th on the grid. Sebastian Vettel will start in the pit lane. Daniel Ricciardo on his own. On the day, he equals Mark Webber as the most experienced Australian driver. Fernando Alonso 11th ahead of George Russell for Mercedes, and we move into the top 10 where Yuki Tsunoda's on his own because Lance Stroll, like his teammate, will also start in the pit lane this afternoon. Pierre Gasly, a season best 7th on the grid, lines up alongside Lando Norris for McLaren. And then we get into the top 6. 2 former teammates, Lewis Hamilton alongside Valtteri Bottas, best ever qualifying for Alfa Romeo since 2019. Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen making an all Red Bull second row. The front row has been locked out by Carlos Sainz and the championship leader, Charles Leclerc. And there you go, the two Williams slotting into their final positions at the back of the grid, and Esteban Ocon alongside Nicholas Latifi in 20th place. It's the first ever Miami Grand Prix. We're racing in the States and it's lights out and away we go. Leclerc into the first turn. It's wheel to wheel, Verstappen and Sainz. Sainz has just lost out to Verstappen, who makes up into second place. Perez in fourth place, and then comes Valtteri Bottas, and then comes Pierre Gasly. Lewis Hamilton under pressure from Fernando Alonso in the Alpine. Great start for Max Verstappen. He's made up a place. Ferrari 1-2 is now a 1-3 with a Red Bull sandwiched in between.
Yeah, the initial launch from Carlos Sainz wasn't quite as good.
Has he got the defence this time around? Doesn't look like he has. Lewis Hamilton making his way up into 7th place, and the way that the Mercedes breezed past the Alpine on that particular occasion will be of great encouragement. Charles Leclerc has won all 4 career wins from pole position, who leads them away. Then Verstappen, then Sainz, then Perez, Bottas, Gasly, and Lando Norris in the McLaren. Behind Norris is Yuki Tsunoda. Daniel Ricciardo looks to have made up a place or two from the start as round the beach club they go. Every fan's got a camera phone in their hand, all wanting a picture of this.
There's a great fight for P14 and 15 with this year's Williams driver Alex Albon and the guy who got him this year's Williams drive, George Russell.
They're going for it. Max Verstappen on the inside has got Charles Leclerc and has taken the lead. DRS helping out the Red Bull, extra pace helping out the Red Bull. The leaders swap round on lap 9 here. Verstappen ahead of Leclerc. Fernando Alonso on the inside, locks up, couldn't really stop himself.
He closed the door in the last minute.
Alonso gets a 5-second penalty for that contact down into turn 1 with Gasly, which I think is fair enough.
Crumbs of comfort, I'm sure, for Carlos Sainz, who is another having a pretty lonely race. Third place, and oh dear, Lando Norris has made contact with the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly.
So Gasly had gone wide through there, then wide again. In fact, he has backed off, hasn't he? And somehow he's not realised that Lando's coming through. And the tyre comes off like a polo mint. Luckily stays within the confines of the racetrack.
Safety car deployed. They
have to.
Yep.
I'm out, boys. Yes, mate. Sorry about that. I didn't want to say.
Perez already on the tail of Carlos Sainz here. He got much better traction out of that hairpin as we go racing here in Miami once again. And out in front is Verstappen from Leclerc, behind Carlos Sainz defending against Sergio Perez. Valtteri Bottas right behind these two, waiting to pick up the scraps. Behind Bottas comes Hamilton and then Russell. Behind Russell, Alonso, Schumacher. So Russell wants to go the long way round here at the outside of the hairpin. This is a great battle between the two Mercedes drivers, and Valtteri Bottas has gone wide. That's allowed Lewis Hamilton to slip through and up into 5th place, and George Russell follows him and up into 6th. Perez is close and getting closer and has got DRS and is going to go for it down the inside into turn 1, but he's outbraked himself. They made the briefest of contacts possibly, but Sainz had the awareness just to move to the left, allow Perez to go through. He locked up his brakes. Sainz said thank you very much, and that's the first attack from Sergio Perez survived for the Ferrari. Here's Sebastian Vettel. Why did he spin? Well, he was going for the move there on the Haas down the inside, and that is why Sebastian Vettel spun and Mick Schumacher hitting him.
Which gap was that? I didn't see that. And that's it, I guess.
You can't be mates as Formula One drivers, you just can't.
I mean, that's clearly my corner.
Meanwhile, let's show you what happened with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, in the DRS, Lewis covers the inside. George says, well, I'll just go around the outside instead then.
Max Verstappen started 3rd on the grid. He is going to turn that into victory after passing Leclerc on the road to take the lead. He has held on to that lead, and Max Verstappen wins in Miami.
Yes! What a race, mates. That was nice. Tough one, but really good.
Charles Leclerc, for the first time in his career, will stand on the podium in the United States. Carlos Sainz makes it a 2-3 for Ferrari. Sergio Perez shares the spoils in the top 4. It's Red Bull and Ferrari once again that take the top 4 positions. And Max Verstappen picking up another win to add to his tally in 2022. And it's time to spray the fizzy stuff, the sparkle, here at the Dolphin Stadium, at the Hard Rock Stadium. Our first venture to Miami for a Formula One Grand Prix, and it's Red Bull who emerge on top.
I really think we had good pace on the medium tire, and that basically also made the race, because that's where I opened up my gap. Because once we got on the hard tire, we were very evenly matched. Like, we were always trading lap times, and yeah, then I was of course not very happy that the safety car came out, but of course these things happen, you cannot do anything about it.
I think we are very strong in terms of tire warm-up, so at the beginning of every run we are strong, and also after at the safety car restart on the hard we were very strong, but after 4 or 5 laps they seem to stabilize the tires in a better window, and there they are just quicker than us.
I think I managed to learn quite a lot from the car, managed to complete a race distance that I hadn't done 2 races in a row, so it was important.
I think we could have been better. had a bit of a slow start. It was very difficult to overtake and easy to get stuck. So yeah, I need to have a look at some key moments in the race where I think I could have done better.
Maybe could have scored 8th place, 9th place, which is a couple points better than none. So it would have been nice, but it didn't end that way. So frustrating, but not the end of the world.